I think it's okay to get going. So what I'm going to do first is share my screen. I just want to take you guys through from the point of where you're logging in, just so you can see that process and make sure you're able to get in, okay, if you're not in already. By in, sorry, I mean within the virtual conference platform. So just bear with me while I get my screen up here. There we go. All right, can everyone see that okay? You kind of see like a little like an inset here and then my main screen. All right, no worries, Anne, I see your note there. Yeah, so right here, I'm just gonna open this up. Oh, and there's Laura, perfect. So this, when you click on your virtual platform link, your direct link, it's going to take you to this landing page. So if you want to just hit continue here. And then what you're going to see here is it's going to ask for your mic access, mic selection, camera access, and you just want to make sure it's pulling the correct, audio and video sources from your computer. So if you want to go through that process, I'm going to click out of here because I'm already logged in on my profile, but I just wanted to make sure that you guys can see visually what this looks like.
Sophia, am I supposed to be logged in as me now at the same time as on the Zoom? Is that what you mean?
Yes, exactly. So within Zoom,
okay.
you guys will present from Zoom. So that's where presenters are sharing their screen, like their slides from. But the virtual platform is where you're going to be watching for questions and answers. The moderator will be working through there. I'll show you where you join in your session. It's just yesterday when I tried to do the Microsoft Teams portion and then move people to the platform, it was a little more challenging. So I'm thinking within Zoom, let's start, and then I'll kind of double back and show you as a presenter on conference day, when you're joining your session, where you join that session from.
Yeah, okay, sorry, I think I'm just just being a bit slow. At this particular moment,
yes,
do you need me to be logged in anywhere else other than this? I'm just looking at your screen. Am I supposed to be doing anything else?
If you're able to, within the agenda that I sent, there is a virtual conference platform link. Right beside your name, that's your direct link access to the platform itself. If you want to click on that, then yes, it would bring you into the virtual conference platform. Okay, I might do that on another screen, a completely different computer. Is that okay? That's totally fine. Well, yeah. Okay. Sorry, carry on. No, that's okay. Good questions. Thank you. All right.
Sorry, Sophia.
My link isn't working. Sorry.
Who's speaking? Sorry.
Amanda.
Your link.
Sorry. Okay, yeah, my link is not working.
All right. I'm going to do something here on the back end. Pardon me, folks. I'm just going to find you here. Is anyone else having issues with their link? I'm going to put it right back in here. I'm just going to drop it in the chat for you.
Okay.
Can you give that a try, Amanda, and see if that works?
Being slow.
Okay, yeah. Sometimes with oops, where did I go here?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks.
You're good? Okay, perfect. Sorry, I'm just gonna stop sharing for a sec here. Sorry about that. Sorry,
I've got in now, Sophia. So now do you want me to, I can see a screen that says speaker and moderator test session. Do you want me to join that?
No, so that's where we're already in right now. So this is what I was, yeah, I'm just gonna let everybody know that typically on conference day, when you're joining your session as a speaker, you would click join here. It would bring you into this session, like into your specific session. and you would join as a panelist. So that's typically where you would join. And then when you click this button, it would open up Zoom. So then you'd be in the same sort of Zoom environment that we're in right now. It's just, as I said, for the training session, I just wanted to start in Zoom because it's making things a little bit smoother for folks. So yeah, so this is what it looks like in terms of the session. You'll, like, when you enter into your session, I do want to double back just to the main screen and show you guys what the conference platform looks like first, talk about high level, just the different functionalities, and then we'll come back and speak specifically to the speaker session and moderator sort of points that I want to go over. So I'm just going to double back to the timeline. I'm going to go to the February 22nd, which is our first date. So this is the main landing page for the conference platform. So on here, you just see some scrolling banners. This is your main agenda. In the agenda here, you're going to see all the different sessions divided up per day. Any session that you're either speaking or moderating for, you will be able to click and preview in there already. Any session that you're participating in or not a speaker or moderator for, you won't have access to it yet. Those only become available about 15 minutes before the session starts. So don't be alarmed if you don't see as many previews as I'm seeing. It's just because I'm in admin mode. So yeah, so these are the different sessions. So that's the agenda there. Different things that we have going on that you can participate in. So Event Stream is the integrated conference social media platform. So if you want to share ideas, comments, anything you want to talk about, anything you've seen during the conference, this is a great way to share that across the board to all of the conference participants. So you can share photos, videos, like photo just means you can actually take a photo in the moment. Image means you're uploading something, just to differentiate between the two. Video, here you can tag folks as well if you want them to see someone specific to see your post, whether it was a presenter you thought did a great job, anything along those lines. And then everyone can come in here, and this is empty because there's, no one's been populating anything, but you would see all of the posts in here. And you can scroll down when there's, once it starts filling up. So that's Event Stream. We also have a gamification. So that's just to really encourage engagement across the board. So we have some fun trivia questions. There's 5 per day. If you get it correct, you get some points. And then you get points just for, different things throughout the conference, adding a profile picture, commenting on a post in Event Stream, completing a session evaluation, things like that. So lots of different ways. And then prizes are an opportunity to win a donation to a charity of choice. So everyone, after 250 points, everybody gets 1 ballot, and then it's a random draw from those ballots in terms of determining who wins the prize. So it's just a fun way to kind of encourage engagement. Sometimes in a virtual setting, it can be hard. That aspect can be difficult. It's not like a face-to-face, so it's nice to have some extra things to keep folks engaged and having fun. Another way you can connect with course participants is through Meeting Hub. So this here is going to show all the attendees who are currently online. I see you guys all in there, which is great. If I wanted to send a chat or a message, to be honest, these two are very similar. This is just letting someone know, like you can request a live chat with someone. This would just send a message to them directly. So I'm going to say hello to Lisa. Lisa should see that come through. You can also schedule a call. So if you want to have a quick chat with someone, quick video call, you can do that through here as well. So that's Meeting Hub. Discussion boards is something that's available the entire conference. So these are specific questions that we're encouraging discussion on. You can come in to join the conversation. And then here within the discussion panel here, you can put your comments, questions, engage with folks on these specific discussion topics. So we have 2 populated so far. There's a couple more to come. What else can I, oh yes, very important. This little orange icon here, live support. So if you guys have any questions, Any technical issues or difficulties, you can reach out to live support. You will have a live person on the other end. If it's something simple, they'll usually just type you through. But if you need to jump on a quick call with them, that's available for you guys as well. I'm just going to check this chat. So Sylvia, just to answer your question here, whatever computer you'll be using, you just want to make sure that you've done that browser setting aspect, like that setup, just to make sure that your computer will allow for your video and audio output. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. So I know, so that's the overview of the virtual conference platform. So before we move on to the session and speaker specific things, was there any questions you had?
I just had a quick question about those settings. Will we get to that landing page every time we log in to give the option to change our microphone or our headset or, you know, that kind of thing? Or is there a,
That's a
or
great
do we
question.
access it through our profile?
Yeah, so usually it will come up once you've logged in. It won't pop up again, but you can access it up here. Thank you for that question, Leslie, because that's, or Leslie Ann, that's important. You can access it here. So my settings, and then if you scroll all the way down, it's down here. So you can hit change settings, and then you can reset them here if you need to.
Thanks. Sorry, I missed my bubble is on top of where I think you clicked to get that. Where
Oh,
did
like,
you
where
find
you
it?
need to see it?
Yeah.
Sorry, let me
Sorry,
close
I'll
this.
just move.
Yeah, it's just right, like your little,
Oh, just the
little icon
profile?
in the
Yep.
top right hand corner, and then it's just my settings here, and that'll
Perfect.
pop with them.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. And yes,
I just make a request, Sophia. When you just go into an icon, can you just do that more slowly? Because I'm so bedazzled by the beautiful screen. I sort
Oh,
of miss
yes,
where
I'm
your
sorry.
mouse is going.
sorry,
and I can't see
and
what you clicked on. Sorry.
which one did you want me to click on again?
Where's the support hub? Is it that little red man? That's
It's right
okay.
here.
And the meeting hub is where all
this
the
is-
games and the. So where's the meeting hub?
Pardon me? Oh, the meeting hub, let's
The
go.
meeting hub.
Yeah, hold on one sec. I need to return to my timeline, and it's not showing me where to do that. Just one second. If I do this, it's gonna, okay, I'm gonna show you something so you guys see. If I click back, it's gonna log, oh, usually it will log you out. It's making a liar out of me, but I just wanna let you guys know when you're in a session, I'm just gonna show this to you now. You always wanna click back to timeline to get back to that main page. What happens is if you hit back on your browser, it's actually going to bump you out of the platform entirely. So just using this back to timeline, and that's something we also communicate with our participants in moderator notes, in the opening housekeeping remarks, just because it can be a bit frustrating. So once folks get used to the platform, it's pretty good. It's just that, you know, initial learning. And was there any questions, sorry, that I missed?
Oh, I could, no, that's right. I can see the meeting hub now. So if you click, can you just click on the meeting hub?
Oh, yes. Sorry, you want to
Again.
open this
So
up
if you
again.
view, you get, what do you get? So you get the live chat.
Yeah, so how you get the live chat is you would select somebody, like you would want to, like who would
Okay.
you want to chat with, and then you would find them. You can search by first name. You can search by who's online now and then search first name. So let's do Lisa again, and then it would just pull up Lisa. And then when you open up her her record there, then you can choose calling, chat, message. The only difference between chat and message is that this sort of lets her know, it sends a request before you start chatting, whereas this message will just send to her directly. And then the calling feature here, you could just hit this button and it would call Lisa, and she would pop here up on the screen, and because you have your video on, she would see you as well, and you can have a one-on-one private conversation with her.
Okay, great. And the points thing is where it says win points.
Exactly. So that
Yeah,
aspect,
okay.
you
Yeah,
just
I've got it
click
now.
on- Yep, no worries.
Yeah, it's okay. My screen's quite small. I think that's what it is. as
Oh,
well.
I see.
Yeah, okay.
No problem. No problem. Happy to go through all of this. So that's the main platform and the features. So what I'm going to do now is go into, well, actually, I think I will just go into our test session because I have a question I want to practice with everybody. So everyone's logged into the portal. When you are a presenter, it is really helpful if you have two screens. So one screen, which you'll be presenting from via Zoom, and the other screen will be for to view this, the on-air platform. So this is where so session information populates here. So speakers are usually, like speaker information would be populated here as well. So you'd see speakers, moderators, if there's any bios, if there's any resources, everything populates on this right-hand side. So participants are able to see, who's presenting, their bio. This is where we also upload your video recording after your session is done, any resources you wish to share or handouts you wish to share with your participants. Everything would be populated in the session information. Preview just shows the attendee view. I recommend not doing this at all because it can sometimes slow things down and make things a little wonky. But really it allows you to see what attendees are seeing. Live Q&A. So I'm just gonna put a note here, but this is where we encourage folks to enter in their live Q&A. So for moderators, one of your housekeeping notes that you'll say at the beginning, and you will get a script, so no worries there, is just to remind people to use the Q&A function here rather than using discussion. So discussion is kind of like if they have comments, they want to say, hey, thanks for a great presentation. But sometimes, some folks will populate questions in here. So as a moderator, we just ask that you kind of keep an eye on this as well. But otherwise, we encourage folks to enter in their questions here. You can start questions once they're answered, because they'll start populating one at a time in this field here. You would just click that you've answered it, and you still see the question. It just moves over here. But it's a great way to kind of keep track of the questions that have been answered already and make sure we don't miss any.
Do we have to click off the answer questions, or if there's only a few, can we just let them, is that something you're tracking as a metric, or is it just?
Not at all.
Oh,
No.
okay.
It's more so just to help you keep them organized. So if it's manageable and there's only a few questions, there's no need to press any of these icons. It's more so if there's like lots of questions coming in or multiple ones that are the same, you can always just keep one there. But really no need to do it. It's just a nice to have. The other function that you'll see here is presenter chat. So this is a nice way to let folks, as a moderator, let your speaker know if their time's starting to run out. Sometimes we'll use the presenter chat when people are still joining in the session at the beginning, and we're seeing that folks are still coming in. So we'll just say, hey, can you wait, 30 more seconds as people start to arrive before you get started. So it's just a way that between the AV tech who's assigned to your session, your speakers or co-presenters and your moderator, it's a way that you guys internally can chat with one another without having to talk so it's overheard by participants who are joining in. Control room chat, I'm not sure if you guys see that or if that's just on my end, but control room chat is just another way to connect with a tech from live support. It would be rare that you would need this because you already have a tech assigned to you specifically who's going to be there to answer any questions. They'll also help you in that 30 minutes prior to your presentation to test any videos, make sure your audio is okay, make sure links are active and working, then there's no issues. So that 30 minutes prior is a great opportunity to to test things out with your AV tech. Share your screens, they'll let you know that they're flowing through okay. So I really recommend, even though you've joined the test session, if you can come 30 minutes before your presentation to take that time, because it just, I think it puts everybody at ease. One thing that's awesome, if you want to click this clock app, and if you have your phone near you, just hold your camera up to it and there's a link, and this is going to automatically show you how much time you have left in your presentation. So it's something that, you know, you're not having to worry about the time that's showing on the screen. You have it beside you. It's just a nice way. You still have the moderator there keeping an eye on the time for you as well, but it's just a nice to have, right? Just to kind of keep everybody on time. So if you wanted to test that, you can do it now or test it later, but it's just a nice little feature for presenters. I'll close that. That's just right here on that icon. So another feature that we have is polling, which is great. Again, it increases engagement with your participants, anybody within your session. I am going to, well, I want to start it, but I'm realizing as speaker and panelist, I don't think you'll see it pop up. This is really on the participant end. But typically what shows up is there's a question that will come up. Everybody starts answering their question. You'll see these numbers increase as folks are responding. So as a moderator, usually we'll get the tech to run the polling just to kind of save you an extra task. But what the AV tech does is they'll watch when the numbers are starting to slow down, the speaker will kind of say, okay, we'll give it a few more seconds, let people get their votes in. And then when you say, okay, let's see what the results are, they're going to hit end, they're going to hit share results. And then the results, the chart is going to pop up for your participants. So that's just a nice way to, again, engage. I know, Anne, you've sent me your polls. I've put them in already. So this is another great way to have engagement. So as a speaker, you don't need to worry about running the polls. As a moderator, likewise, we usually ask the AV techs or whichever CPD staff is supporting you for your session to run those for you. Your main responsibility as a speaker is just to cue us, just to say, okay, let's run this poll. You know, that's your main responsibility with that. So I'm just going to hit end. But yeah, you can have as many poll questions as you wish, and then we just pre-populate them for you before your session.
Can I just ask something, Sophia?
Yes,
Sorry,
yeah.
I feel like,
No, that's good.
I feel I'm processing very slowly today. I've obviously got too much in my brain. Why have I got to have two screens up?
Pardon me, sorry?
Well, you said that when we're in the conference, you know, doing our thing, speaking or moderating, whatever, you'd be using two screens on two different devices, didn't you? Can you just say why that is, please?
Sure. So you don't necessarily need two computers if you have dual screens. So you, on one screen, you would have the Zoom session like you see now, because this is how you'll be presenting your slides. So your presentation, you'll be sharing your screen from your computer. But if you want to see sort of what's happening in the virtual platform in terms of the questions coming in, if you want to see the chat, you know, if the moderator needs to send you a message about, okay, it looks like everybody is in now, you can go ahead and get started. It's nice to have this open so that you can also see the platform.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, I haven't got two screens, so I'll just use my tablet and my laptop. Okay. Yeah.
And then just one added note is that if for whatever reason you just want to focus on your screen that you're presenting from and not worry about the virtual platform, that is okay too, because you'll have the moderator there to support you. So they can keep track, you know, they can keep track of the presenter chat. They can work with the AV tech to do the polls. And they can also communicate with you like through Zoom, right? So if you prefer not using the presenter chat and not needing to worry about that, they can just tell you verbally, right? So there's no worries there. So if you feel more comfortable presenting that way, that's totally fine. I can just make a note in your file for the tech who's running that session.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just wanting to see if there's anything I've missed before I take any questions. So we did the overview of the main page, all the different features. We did the session overview, so including session information, live Q&A, the discussion, presenter chats. We talked about Zoom, session format, dual screens, screen sharing. So just the point in that you'll be sharing your screen for your presentation. The polling, how to do questions and answers. And yes, just to clarify the role of the moderator a little bit more. So really you're just going to be a facilitator and just in getting the presentation started. So watching for those cues that, okay, everybody's now entered into the session. We're just about to get started, you know, letting folks know when they're first joining in, you know, we're just going to be waiting a few moments to get started, and then helping with the question and answer period. So again, a script will be sent, so no stress there. And then please, if you have any questions at all, once I send you the script, please don't hesitate to ask. We do ask as a moderator if you can also join, maybe not that 30 minutes prior to the presentation, but even 10 minutes before, I find gives sufficient time just to check in with the presenter, see if there's any specific requests they have. Sometimes presenters like to take questions and answers in the middle of their session or at designated times throughout. Some speakers prefer just to keep it all to the end. So just verifying those sorts of things with the presenter. Usually 10-15 minutes is sufficient as a moderator for that part. So yes, I have done a lot of talking. I want to know if you guys have any questions. And then before I conclude, I'll just remind everyone in the portal where you enter in for your sessions, just because that was one part in the beginning that we missed. Was there any questions that you had about the speaker or moderator?
I have 2 questions.
Sure.
When you're saying about sharing screen, is that's for the presenter, not the moderator to share screen?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah,
Okay.
you got it.
And the second question, I'm assuming for recording, because the sessions are recorded, right? Is that the responsibility of the AV person or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, all of the sessions are set to automatically record, so we don't run into
Okay.
issues where we forget to hit record. So yeah, no worries there.
Perfect. Thank you.
As a moderator, that's not, yeah, you won't need to worry about that.
Okay.
Good question.
Yeah, high pressure recording.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome, Julian. Oh, yes, go ahead, Jeff. You had a question there.
Yeah, I was just looking at sort of the timeline. And
Yeah.
are the sessions that you're supposed to be moderating, are you supposed to have the preview link to those?
Yes.
So I don't have those in my timeline.
Yes, thanks. It's just I haven't updated yours yet. So any of the moderators that just confirmed within the last day or so, I still need to update, but I'll get that for you. I'll get that set up for you.
And second question, in the session that we're hosting, we're doing like a word cloud, and I was supposed to check in to see how that function works. For my crew.
So I realized, so I set this up and then I realized as I was showing to you guys as speakers and presenters, I can't have you actually populate that. So I'll need to set up a different test environment to display that. Yeah, because I'd have to get multiple people joining in as participants to test it. So folks who are joined in here today are speakers and presenters. And so just within this test environment, the way I have folks set up, I'm unable to have them enter in the poll responses. I'm really sorry, but we will take care of that so that you can see what that looks like. Thanks, Jeff. Any other questions? Yes, Anne.
Me again, sorry.
No worries.
I know you said this at the beginning, but I didn't. I need to again. Anyway, the join as panelists is when you are speaking at a session, but it's a panel session. Is that what that is?
Yes. Well, that's I guess the verbiage that On Air uses for any session when you join it. So you'll always see like join as panelist, even if you're a presenter or a moderator.
Okay.
Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll go now, just to clarify this for folks, because as I said, we started in Zoom already, but when you join into the conference platform on the day of the conference, and you're wanting to get to your session as a presenter or a moderator, you will come to this agenda page. So there's a tab per day. You would scroll down and find your session. So Anne, you are here. I'll just open that up for you. You'll see your polls are, I've entered your polls in for you. You would click this join as panelist. I won't click through because then we'll have 2 Zoom sessions open right now, but that's where you would join. So whether you're a speaker, moderator, that's how you join. Everybody else would just hit that session, and then that would open, they would see a message here, you know, the session's about to get started, you know, and then there's a countdown. So the session starts, you're 169 hours away. On the day of, you will see it's, you know, 30 minutes. And then when there's 2 minutes left, it starts doing like a, you know, 159, 158, you know, it counts down a little bit more so you can see how much time you have left. And then as soon as it's live, that's the only time folks can really enter into Zoom. So they can come into this screen in the virtual platform about 15 minutes early, but they're not going to see anything populate in like the Zoom session itself until the session goes live. So that's why we always like to give a participant a few moments to kind of get checked in, right? Make sure that they're in there, they're hearing and viewing things okay. And then we kind of get started. We get started at that point. So as a presenter or moderator, that's how you'll want to get into your session. So yeah, that was the last piece I kind of wanted to review, just because, as I said, we joined into Zoom directly. But before we conclude, I know folks have been answering questions as we've been going through. Is there anything else you'd like to see? Any burning questions before we conclude for today?
I have a question.
Yes.
Just so I mean, just I'm thinking about like the last conference now, Julie had said, I was wondering if just for people who are moderating, because I know when you said join panelist, I remember she showed us last year that people like the moderator also joins, so you see like 2 faces. Is there any way you can show us like actually what it looks like? Like who would you see? Like if whoever's moderating and session, like would their face be side by side? Like what would the moderator be looking at, but also know that they're on screen as well? I think, because I mean, I'm not moderating, but I'm uncomfortable with people who are knowing like, what does it look like?
So from a speaker, from a speaker moderator perspective, the test session we're in right now, this is what you will see. The participants, they're going to see the screen share, and then whoever is speaking, then they're going to see like the little icon of the person that's presenting as well as the screen share. So the moderator, as a presenter, they're going to see how Lori is showing up with, you know, her video is off, she's muted.
Yes.
They're just going to see this floating box here, like in Zoom. So they'll have the slides present, like whatever the presenter is sharing.
Yeah.
Right, from their computer. That's what participants are going to see. Plus, as you guys are seeing right now, the Zoom participants. So if there's, you know, a co-presenter, a presenter, and a moderator, they will also show up on the participant screen.
Okay. Okay, that's
Zoom.
helpful. So basically it's not going to be something that people are not familiar with as a moderator or as a presenter once they're actually inside.
That's right.
It's weird getting in, but once you're in, it really just is the same,
Zoom.
similar setup. Zoom. And to be
That's
fair, if you're moderating, your face is still going to be up there the whole time.
You can, so for moderators, we just ask, you know, once you've completed your moderating tasks at the beginning, you can turn off your camera and your mic. And then once you're doing the Q&A session, I mean, it's up to you whether you want to have your video up. Obviously, we need your audio, but, you know, if you want to turn your camera on to moderate, to help with the field the questions, that's totally up to your comfort level. But yes, otherwise the participants would see it as, you know, one individual speaking and then as well as the presentation slides. So what
Yeah,
you're used to in
yeah.
like a Zoom presentation. Does that make sense?
Just me, yeah. It just, yeah, Julie kind of explained it like there was like a stage. I think last time there was like a stage, and I think that's
Yeah.
just, yes,
So
right, Ann?
some of the sessions,
you
I
invite
know
me
what
to
you're, I
stage.
know what
I'm
you're
like, what?
referring to. Some of the sessions she ran through Aircast. It's just a different kind of platform, but
Okay.
I'm using Zoom for all of the sessions.
Awesome. Thank you. I think that's where my confusion was. I didn't want any
Okay,
surprises
there was no
nothing
big
sounded
stage.
familiar from the first one. So I was like, are we sure we're not throwing curveballs here? So
No,
I apologize
no.
for
When you-
anyone moderating if I confuse people, but
No. As
Clearly
soon
confused
as,
all over it.
you
okay.
as soon as you said stage, I was like, oh, that's Aircast. Yeah, no, we're not using Aircast. All of the sessions I'm running through Zoom. So any sort of presentation you've done before, you can expect the same thing, and that's what participants will be seeing as well. So the virtual platform is there to facilitate like questions and answers, and it shows you all the sessions. It's sort of the gateway to all of the presentations. But when they're watching a presentation, it looks like a Zoom presentation or a Zoom meeting for the interactive sessions, if that clarifies things. Cool. Okay, I see Anne has a question.
Yes, I've just realised how to raise my hand, so sorry
Oh.
for interrupting before. But that was very helpful, because in my head I was thinking about Aircast too, and I think that was what was partly slightly confusing. I do remember that all these platforms, actually, once you start using them, you get used to them very quickly. Yeah, what I just wanted to, this is a question as a presenter.
Yep.
And I was just wondering whether I can do this, but I probably won't do it. But, you know, I can be a bit spontaneous when I talk, that's the thing. You know, if I was normally presenting, then I would go in and out of my slides. So sometimes, say if I was running a poll,
yes, I
would take the, well, it wouldn't be a poll. If I might, so say I was answering questions, I might take the slide down and make sure, or hide that view so that people could then see me rather than as a tiny thing. They could see me. Is it possible to do that? It doesn't sound like it is.
Yeah, so what you would just need to do, Anne, is stop sharing your slides.
Okay.
So whenever, if you want to take a break and take some questions from the audience, the participants, then you can just stop sharing your slides, take those questions, chat with folks so they're seeing you fully in the monitor and the screen. And then once you're ready to continue with your presentation, you would just need to start sharing your screen again.
And so it remembers where I am, because I'm not used to using Zoom for this type of thing. I'm used to using Teams. And Teams often forgets which slide you're on, and you end up having to go back into the, you know, the deck, as it were.
We can, I think, and the best thing to do, I think, I want to say yes, but I'd like to test that out with you. So, or the AV tech can test it out with you on that, like that 30 minutes prior, just to make sure you feel comfortable doing that.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay,
thank you.
To go back and forth, Because they're, I think I have you with an AV tech, rather than a.
Well, I hope so.
Oh, I mean, sorry, AV tech, as in like that's their profession, versus like one of our CPD staff. So they're like expert level, right? We're good. We can run these sessions. We've done it multiple times, but they're next level, so they can really, you know, help you out with any concerns or questions you have.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd actually love to jump in on one of those as well. And I'm thinking about our panel, our presentation and our panel. It would be really nice I can have the questions at hand and at the ready for the prompts for the panel and for the audience. But I agree, it would be nice to be able to see the panelists and not the slides and little windows. So yeah, I don't know if you want to do a global test, or we can just test that before my presentation as well.
Yeah, I think
that would be helpful.
Probably, Leslie, and probably easier to test right before the session. Are you able to join 30 minutes prior?
I should be able to.
You
Yep.
should be able to. Yeah, it's just, I know with the concurrent blocks and the timing in between if you're attending a previous session, but that 30 minutes prior will be the best time to do that.
Okay.
And it's fresh in your mind. The tech who's running the session knows also at the points in which you want to do that. I find that would, ensure everything runs smoothly.
Sure. That's like, yeah, I'm signed up to moderate a few things. So I'm not sure where that lands, but I'll do my best to join as early
Yeah,
as
and
I
you can connect with me offline if we need to move anything around. Let me know.
Sure.
Yeah. Any other questions? I hope you found that helpful. If there's, if there's anything that you think of after the fact, once you go into on air and you poke around a little bit more, if you have any more questions, anything that comes up, please don't hesitate to send me an email. And know that, as I said, you will have a tech in every session, every presenter will have someone designated to you specifically to answer any questions or any concerns that you have in the moment. So thanks everyone for joining. Have a great day. And as I said, don't hesitate to reach out if you need anything. Take care.
Thank you. Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.